Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nicole Moore, and today we are going over the using Excel ranges and names, and we are going to use the exercise that you all have on your laptops, the sample data range exercise, and we're going to walk through some hands-on exercises as well as I'll kind of explain to you what some of the terms and some of the things mean as we go. Does anybody have anything before we get started? Nope. Any issues? Okay, great. So if you'll flip to the first page in your workbook, we'll just kind of get started going through. And it asks, in this first section, what is a range? So we're pretty familiar with what cells are. Does everyone here know what a cell is in Excel? Okay, good. So a range is just a group of cells. That can be either multiple rows, it can be multiple columns, but it's just a selection of various cells, and that is what creates a range. So we can use ranges to create what are named ranges, or what is also called names in Excel. When we do that, there are some rules there listed on page 1 at the bottom, and I'm just going to kind of go over these rules. Don't include spaces, but you can include an underscore. The first character, though, can't be an underscore or a backslash, and names can't look like cell addresses such as A35 or R2D2, and then C, lowercase c, R, or lowercase r can't be used as names. And that's for reasons of them being used in formulas and stuff like that. Just some back-end Excel stuff that makes those rules. So let's start by walking through this first exercise of creating a named range. So the first step indicates that we're going to go to the Sales tab on the workbook. So if you'll have your workbook open and you'll go to that first Sales tab, you'll see at the very bottom of your screen there's both a Sales and a Prices tab. So if you'll just make sure you have it selected for the Sales tab, it should be in white with green letters. Okay, if you're on the Sales tab, you're going to select cells F2 through F18, and if you'll look up at the very top of the gray area there, you'll see the letter F, that's the column, and we're going to select rows 2 through 18. Okay, I'm going to walk around and see if you guys have the correct cells just for this first one and see if we got them selected correctly. Okay, good. Okay, great. So you'll see in the top left, kind of up by where A1 is, you'll also see a box. And it has kind of a drop down thing. That is our name box. And actually if you hover over that little box, you'll see it actually says name box when you hover over there for a second. If you'll click inside of there, so on page 3, our next step is we're going to click inside the name box. And this is where we go to actually name that range that we have selected. So for this one, we're going to put totals with an S. And then once you type that in, you can just hit enter. And that will now be the name of that selected range. And once you hit enter, it kind of takes you out of that name box as well. So if you'll flip to page 4, we're going to kind of go through and do exactly this again. So we'll go a little bit faster. So this time we're going to click on the prices. And then we're going to select cells C2 through C8. And then if you go to the next page in your manual there, it says that we're going to enter the name prices into the name box. So for these, we're going to select prices, or we're going to enter prices and then click enter. There you go. Yep, just like that. Perfect. Okay. So now we have both of those names, and then if you'll see in your manual here on page 5, it says click on any other cell. So click on any other cell on that screen, it doesn't matter which one. Now go back up to that name box and actually click the drop down there, that little arrow, click the drop down and select totals, the one we previously selected. And that should navigate us directly back to the cells tab, as well as that named range that we already had. So not only is it a useful tool for naming the ranges, but you can also use it as a navigation tool. If you have a large workbook that has lots of different data on there, and you know you need to go to something specific, you can click directly on that from there. So now we've named 2 ranges. Does anybody have any questions about naming ranges or using the name box for navigation? Okay, great. So now if you flip to page 6 in your workbook, we're going to talk about what do we do if we messed up. If we make a mistake naming a range, we can edit that in the name manager. And you don't have to have it selected, you don't have to do anything else other than click on name manager. So let's walk through how we do that. First, we're going to click up at the top where it says formulas. And again, we can be on either tab, it doesn't matter. This is not directed by where we're navigating on the screen. And you can click that. In the middle, very middle, there's kind of a thing that looks like an envelope box with a bunch of tags. If you click that, it says name manager. And if you'll see that very top one says all Zales instead of all cells, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that, make sure that one's selected in blue, and click the edit button. When we do that, it gives us the opportunity to either change the name or change what it refers to.